everybody, getting in position for the push-up. We'll start on the feet, but don't worry, we'll go over the knees also. Really, besides how much weight is gonna be on your upper body, the form's really the same, whether it's on the feet or on the knees. First things first, I wanna tell you what not to do with your pelvis. You don't want it to be tilted like this. This is called a posterior pelvic tilt, and you don't want that. Because when you go down, you're gonna end up straining your lower back and not really working the chest, triceps, and a little bit of your front shoulder. To prevent that, let's say you're tilted like this, all you gotta do, suck your core in like this. So you go from an incorrect tilt here to just bringing it forward and under your body. Once you do that, you really want to focus on the path. So for a push-up, it's not really just going up and down. I'm gonna show you this on my knees so I don't injure my shoulders trying to do the incorrect form. If I'm just gonna go straight up and down, see I have this piece of tape right here. If I position my face right above it and I'm just gonna go vertical with it, this is what happens to my shoulders. They get strained from my elbows flaring out like this. So when you're doing a push-up, it's not about going directly up and down. You're actually gonna move forward on the way down and a little back on the way up. But in order to do that, the elbows change. I go 5 o'clock with the left and I go 7 o'clock with the right elbow. That allows me to travel forward and then back on the way up. Let's see how that looks like on the feet. So again, no tilt. I'm gonna get that pelvis a little inward. And then on the way down, 5 o'clock with the left elbow, 7 o'clock with the right elbow. That's gonna let me travel a little forward. And on the way up, a little back. 5 and 7, forward, back. While I'm doing that, I'm making sure that my pelvis doesn't poke upward, and I'm making sure that my back stays rigid, my core is engaged, because that's gonna prevent you from getting sloppy and going like this. You don't want that bend. Like, we're not doing the worm. We're trying to work on a push-up form. So again, 5 and 7, get straight forward. Explode up. One of the other things to note, there's things called scapular retraction. If you watch my squat video, dip video, we talk about scapular retraction, pulling the shoulder blades back and down. That's gonna help for the shoulder health. It's gonna help when you're lowering yourself. So you're gonna retract on the way down, and on the way up, when you're pushing, you're gonna protract, meaning push them forward. The top-down view is gonna show that a lot better. So here we are again. We're gonna combine the first 3 things that we talked about. Tilt the pelvis inward. That's called an anterior pelvic tilt. We're gonna think about traveling forward. Elbows 5 and 7. The scapula is gonna retract. And on the way up, protract. I'm gonna make it a little bit more exaggerated so you can see it best on that top-down view. Retracting. And on the way up, protract. Again, if you're gonna do it on the knees, the form doesn't change. All that does is modify how much weight, how much intensity you're putting on the chest, triceps, and the front delt. That's your shoulder. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on my knees. And from there, same thing. Make sure you don't have a posterior pelvic tilt. Move it inward. Let yourself travel forward. Again, you don't want to go straight down. That's why push-ups tend to look a little awkward on the knees, because for some reason, you're more inclined to just go up and down. But that's not what we're going for. We're looking for forward movement as we go down. and then backward as we explode up. Getting those elbows 5 and 7, because that's what's gonna really make sure you got the right path and save your shoulders. So what I would say, if you're able to do them on your feet, start off your set like that. And then as you get tired, modify. And that's how you can end your set. All right, now it's time to get even more assistance with a push-up. Now you're probably wondering, I've already done them on my knees, so what more assistance can you have? You gotta use the band. So the band is gonna give you what you call accommodating assistance. As the band stretches during the rep, it's gonna give you more help, and it's gonna help you pop back up. So when you think about it, most people need the most help at the very bottom. That's when the band's stretched out and it's gonna help you the most. So it's a great tool to use, especially when you're trying to nail these body weight exercises. So you saw, I just had the band right around my chest and I just throw it over my head. And I'm really wearing it just like a backpack. That's gonna make it secure. So pro tip, have a thick shirt on. It's gonna help with any discomfort from the band. And right now, it's fall season. We're going into fall and winter. It's cold, so throw a sweater if you're able to, because that's gonna prevent any lines here so you don't have any awkward conversation about why there's weird bruising or lines across this area. So now that I have the band, just get in your normal position and watch. Tuck my pelvis down. As I go down for the rep, the band stretches, and it's gonna help me at the most difficult part, which is obviously the very bottom. As I go down, the band is stretching, and it's gonna help me focus on proper form. Because if you're feeling unsteady at the bottom, it's bad for the confidence. So you might just try to rush, bang out some reps that aren't even looking right. This is gonna help you focus on your form. So because there's reduced load on my chest, triceps, front of the shoulder, I'm able to focus on tucking the pelvis in, going 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock with the elbows, really trying to put the weight spread across my fingertips and palms, getting that full range of motion. Doesn't just have to be on the knees. You can go regular form, tuck your pelvis down. You do them all day. Again, throw a shirt on before you throw the band. It's gonna help out a lot more. And if possible, throw that sweater. It's gonna help with any discomfort. Really try these, because if you're feeling a little bit unsure with your push-up form, the band is gonna make it a lot easier so you can really focus on technique. That way you can dial in better reps, get the quality in, then progress to doing it with just the knees without the band, then finally with the feet. Now when you take the band off, I'm gonna try to do it as graceful as possible. Just like that. Loop it around the sectional, find another place in your house that's really secure. That way you don't have to worry about the band moving or whatever you anchor it to sliding away. Yeah.
Oh no!